Oh, more doors conveniently appeared. Well, I guess it's time to talk about Islam. Okay, this is always a scary thing to say anywhere on the internet. Okay, so the origin comes from this guy named Muhammad. Now Muhammad wasn't a very big fan of the Jewish faith. Let's just get off and say that right away. And well, really any faith for that matter. But yeah. So the story goes is he had a pretty rough childhood. His father died before birth, and shortly into his childhood, his mother just died. So this caused him to develop without parents and only the path of God. Convenient. Anyways, he began to work for an older widow, transferring goods for trade. This is when he was like older and stuff. And so yeah, he eventually married this widow. Because you marry your employers. But I always love to see, like actually, I do kind of think it's interesting that not even joking that in this culture the woman was like she was in charge of this. Like so that's pretty cool. You don't often hear about that. Like I'm not joking. I think that's actually really cool. And one of the traits about him, like something that why people believed him when he started preaching and stuff, was that well they believed him because he was an honest guy. He was an honest, hardworking, and very trustworthy guy, Muhammad. So he does this through his life, and he was really introduced to this like whole idea of Allah, their God, the Muslim God, when he started meditating in a cave. He wasn't very happy with his culture, like where he lived, like how it was going, and the religions around it. He wasn't very happy with how they were going, so he started meditating in a cave just to kind of get away from it all, I guess. And one of these days, he was meditating in a cave all by himself. There was nobody around, so nobody to confirm whether he heard the voice of God. He heard the voice of God, and he was fasting for a long time, too. So luckily, when you fast for a long time, you never, ever hear or see hallucinations. That's unheard of when you're fasting. So when he's fasting, an all-powerful voice speaks to him, and he interprets this as God. But at first, because that's what you do when you first hear something in a cave all by yourself, you keep it to yourself. So he kept it himself for a while. And so, but then he didn't. He decided, you know what, I'm actually going to preach this out of it. And he started preaching God. And he's one of the main reasons he got so far with it and why Islam is considered such a powerful faith today is because he was very good at arguing his religious ideas through poetry and stories and just arguing in general. And one of the big things he said is there is no God but Allah. It's a monotheistic religion. We're getting back into those. Yep, we're done with Asian religions. You thought those were cool? I did too. Okay, so he couldn't one of the reasons people called him a false prophet is because he couldn't perform miracles like some of the people wanted. And well, to that yeah, so I am lost on my page. Yeah, so one of the big practices in the Islamic faith is to return to the holy city of Mecca, because it's considered a pilgrimage to get there once in your life. And you also pray towards a wall that is facing Mecca. You always want to face Mecca, which I actually think is really interesting. That's actually really cool. You have to find which way is pointing towards Mecca. That's actually, I'm not even kidding. That's really cool. Like I have to say, I'm not even kidding. I do think it's really cool. And right now there are 1.5. Oh man, I didn't write units. Billion. There is 1.5 billion Islamic people in the world.